Hi, this is Puppets by Arlie. I'm Arlie, and
My name is Senna Westerberg.
this is all about Tillie the Terrible Swede. Now, Cinna, you've created this show about a story about Tillie the Terrible Swede. Can you talk a little bit about how you came to create this puppet show?
Okay, so I am originally from Sweden, and one day I just stumbled on the name Tillie the Terrible Swede. It was just something I was Googling about women riding bicycles at the end of the century. No, like around 1800, like 1890s. And somehow it just popped up, Tillie the Terrible Swede. And I never heard about it before. And it turns out that it was a real person. Her name was Matilda Anderson, and she was an immigrant. She came from Sweden to Chicago 1891, and she purchased a bicycle from money that she made from being a seamstress. And she started competing, and she ended up being one of the fastest bicyclists in the world. She was a big star and traveled all over the country. And then it ended very abruptly a couple of years later when she was not even 26 years old, when women were banned from competing in races. So I read about it. I was very fascinated, and I thought this has to be a puppet show. So I've been writing it for a while. I write, and then I take a long break, and then I write a little bit, and I take a long break. And I started applying for grants, and finally in February I got my first grant, and I got my cast. We started rehearsing, and here we are.
Yeah, show week. Now, we know each other because we're both marionette puppeteers, and since this is kind of a marionette channel, can you speak to any reason why you've decided to use some marionettes in this show?
So when I started thinking about it, I was actually thinking of it as tabletop. And then I was talking to Kevin White, who is actually the one who made the puppets and some of the props for the show. And he was saying, like, why don't you want to try to use marionettes? Because that's what we do. We are marionettists, and it's very unusual. A lot of people don't do marionettes, and it's really, people are very fascinated by marionettes. So I was like, yes, that's not a bad idea. And we made it with marionettes. Yeah.
And I made some of the costumes.
Yes, you did.
So
both costumes. Both costumes. Yeah.
So where can people find out more about this show?
So we are opening October 14th at Scandinavia House, which is on Park Avenue and 38th Street. Tickets are free, but with reservations. And hurry up, because I heard that it's already more than 100 tickets sold for each show. So
and
make that reservation.
What's the website for the show?
Scandinaviahouse.org.
And what's the website for your Tillie the Terrible Swede show?
It is tillietheterribleswede.com.
Well, thank you so much for coming, and thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you.
I used to be my mother's baby. When I was near, my back went wild. Whenever we had company, they bounced me on their knees. The neighbors thought I was a darling child. Once I was everybody's baby, but right now I'm lonesome as can be.